Hey, chemistry class, we're going to go ahead and look at some of the notes you'll need to take for today. We're going to start talking essentially about atoms here for a little bit. We're going to describe what's called the atomic theory, and we'll describe the 5 principles that are associated with the atomic theory. So far, we've talked about pure substances versus mixtures, essentially those things that are a unified or a uniform type of substance, either one type of atom or in the case of compounds, atoms that are chemically combined together, or we're talking about mixtures, and mixtures are substances that are mixed together or combined but not chemically combined, so we can separate out their separate them out by their physical characteristics. So John Dalton's atomic theory, John Dalton was one of the first ones to really unify several hypotheses and put them into one theory. There are 5 tenets. First 2, all matter is composed of extremely small particles called atoms, cannot be subdivided, created, or destroyed. Second one he said was the atoms of a given element are identical in their physical and chemical properties. Not tough. Okay. 3, atoms of different elements differ in their physical and chemical properties. 4, atoms of different elements combine in simple whole number ratios to form compounds. So atoms of different elements will come together, right? But you won't get a half of an atom. You'll get a whole atom. So we're going to get whole numbers. So that's why it's H2O and not H1.5O. H2O, whole number ratios. So in a chemical reaction, atoms are combined, they're separated, they're rearranged, but never created, destroyed, or changed in chemical reactions. Specifically, chemical reactions. Okay. Again, what are the 3 major parts of the atom? You guys should know this from junior high and through physical science: proton, neutron, and electron. Specifically, make sure you take time and pause here. We need to draw an example of an atom. Essentially, there are 2 parts of the atom that we need to be concerned about: the inner part called the nucleus, and the outer part called the electron cloud. Okay, so on the inside you'd have a nucleus, on the outside you'd have the electron cloud. So the protons and neutrons will be found in the atomic nucleus, and the electrons are found out here in what's known as the orbital or the shell. The nucleus holds, its essential part is composed of protons and neutrons. The nucleus contains most of the of an atom's mass. Okay. Now, inside the nucleus, we have what are called protons. They're positively charged particles found in the atomic nucleus. Protons were discovered by Ernest Rutherford. Don't worry about the second bullet point there. Neutrons are uncharged particles found in the atomic nucleus. Neutrons were discovered by James Chadwick in 1932. Generally speaking, they're there to stabilize a nucleus. Okay, don't worry about the second bullet point. Okay, in this case, we can take a nucleus and we can actually go through what's called nuclear fission. The nucleus will break, nuclear fission. So it's a split of an atom's nucleus. This happens in a nuclear reactor. Uranium-235 will send a neutron at a nucleus of uranium-235. As it breaks apart, we actually create 2 different elements here and several neutrons. And this will, since these neutrons are firing off in different directions, they'll hit other nuclei of uranium and they'll create different new elements. And that's basically how nuclear reactors work. Releases a lot of energy as it does that. Nuclear fusion is what the sun does. So it actually takes 2 different types of hydrogen. This is called deuterium, which is a proton and a neutron, and a tritium, which is a hydrogen, is proton and 2 neutrons, and it combines them under intense pressure. Okay, and that intense pressure will actually create a molecule of helium. Okay, so that's fusion. We're putting things together. We're fusing them together. Okay, so we're creating helium from 2 hydrogen isotopes. Okay, and electron orbitals. These are electrons that are negatively charged particles. They're surrounded, and they surround the atom's nucleus. The electrons were discovered by J.J. Thomson in 1897. Electrons are found in orbitals around the atom. They can be found at different levels depending on the atom's size and chemical makeup. Okay, that's where we'll stop. Thank you very much.